So I'm about to do a study on the first 6 chapters of Deuteronomy. And what inspired this was about 2 years ago, I was thinking about in Deuteronomy chapter 6, where it says, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is one, the Lord is your God, and teach his statutes to your children as you're standing up, as you're laying down, as you're going on your way," etc. And so it just occurred to me, what if that verse is taken out of context? What if it means something else? And so about 2 years ago, I studied the first 6 chapters of Deuteronomy and wrote a sermon, presented it, and it really focused on how the legacy of a family and the history of the family helps shape the identity of a family and can help draw kids towards God. Well, since then, I've pretty much forgotten most of what I've learned from doing that study. And I wanted to retrace those steps and thought that it would be good to record my progress so that if anyone wanted to learn an approach to studying the Bible, that they could watch these videos and study along with me. And so each phase along the way, I'm going to record a progress video or a how-to video on how I approach studying for understanding the context, meaning, and application of Deuteronomy chapter 6. And we're going to ask and answer some questions along the way to figure out, what are the responsibilities of parents that are stated there for the Israelites in chapter 6, as well as what can we glean from this first 5 chapters before chapter 6. And then finally, how does this apply today, if at all? Does it still apply? Well, we'll explore that together. And so I invite you to watch these videos, have a Bible handy, and hit subscribe so you can catch them as they come out. Now, the point of today isn't to really focus on chapter 6, so that's where we're going to land. It's to say that there's a lot of things leading up to chapter 6, and if we're going to really understand chapter 6, we need to see what's happening in chapters 1 through 5. And I'll tell you, I've just now read the first 5 chapters, and I have a fuzzy view of what's going on. I know Moses is speaking, that the Lord commanded him to speak to the Israelites, that he's recapping what has happened, and that there's a lot of conquest and victories because of obedience, and then there's some judgment because of disobedience. And so that's kind of a big picture. What I'm hoping to do is I'm going to color code this. I'm going to go to BibleGateway.com. I'm going to copy these first 5 chapters from the website into Word. And I'm going to start color coding it. And I'm going to start walking through it to color code what is recap and what are responses. Because there's recap and there's commentary. And so I want to separate that out to better see the flow of the text as well as the outline of the text. If we're supposed to be telling our kids and our grandkids this stuff, and that's what Moses is commanding the Israelites to do, then what exactly are they supposed to be sharing? What exactly are they supposed to be telling, and why is that important? And to me, that's really the purpose of this study, is to glean wisdom from these first 6 chapters of Deuteronomy, and to see, why did God want this to be part of their culture? I mean, for parents to be commanded to teach this to their kids meant their entire culture is going to be shaped by these 5 chapters, or by these 6 chapters. And so that's kind of the point of this study, is to break down what's happening, why is it important, and what we can learn from it so we can apply it to our lives and see where that leads. And I'll also talk at some point about how much does this apply to us and why. I mean, does this apply to Christians today? If so, why? Or if not, why? And if it doesn't, then what do we do with it? So my goal is to make a video for walking through my process of studying this and learning from this and putting this together, and then eventually I'm going to come up with a video that really draws out the conclusions of the study. So I hope you'll join me as I walk through these, and then you'll watch the capstone video when it comes out as well.